Back at the start of August, Hannu's rally team driver Henri Haapamäki by co-driver Marko Salminen completely dominated Neste Oil Rally Finland's R4 class in their Citroën C2 R2. The talented pair quickly pulled out a lead and succeeded in extending their advantage over the other competitors on virtually every special stage. On the Saturday afternoon, the car was loaded up with a suitable number of spare wheels, and the boys set off to make sure of the win over the remaining 5 special stages. Despite taking things carefully, the gap between Henri and Marko's Citroën and the second-place competitor was still over 2 minutes at the finish line. In addition to taking an overwhelming victory in their own class, Henri and Marko were also fastest of all the two-wheel drive cars in the rally, leaving all of the one step bigger and faster WRC3 entrants in their dust. On the overall classification, their final position was a highly respectable 15th. This fine performance was the catalyst for Hannu's rally team, offering the guys an opportunity to take part in the final event of the WRC season, Wales Rally GB. In Wales, the car run by Hannu's rally team will be Autosport Technologies' Citroën DS3 R3T. Autosport will also handle servicing of the car and all the arrangements both during testing and on the rally itself. Autosport Technology is owned by the Asquith family. The team is highly experienced and professional and has taken tender care of many big-name Finnish drivers taking part in events in the United Kingdom. The team's car won the 2013 British Rally Championship with Marko Salminen as co-pilot and Jukka Korhonen at the wheel. Henri and Marko's car is faster and a class bigger than in Jyväskylä. In other words, where the car is concerned, they are no longer underdogs. But in Wales, the boys will come up against any number of new challenges, and they go into it with a clean slate. Rain, fog, mud, mire, and sometimes even snow are elements which add their own spice to proceedings in a rally driven predominantly on narrow but occasionally high-speed stages. Even the smallest of mistakes can be costly, but taking things too carefully quickly sees a competitor drop down the leaderboard. The first day of testing took place at Walters Arena over greatly varying roads. The car naturally took a little getting used to, but after a few words of advice from Helen, Henri soon felt at home.
Yes. 4, 3, 2, 1, aja. Heti vasen nopea, risteys 81. Vasen loiva ja oikea täys 9. Kuus, oikea eri, ahdas, yli, 4.
Then they got down to the main business, finding the right lines, braking points, and pushing the car's grip to the absolute limit. On the final test road, a stretch of about 5 kilometres, Henri's times only improved by a couple of seconds after the initial pass, and then remained within half a second or so of each other. This demonstrates that the speed needed on the event itself was already there on the very first day. Although to begin with, Henri was slightly in awe, by the end of proceedings, the car's characteristics and a successful day of testing had put a great big smile on Henri's face. Day 2 saw a move to Higgins Rally Centre, where the type of road on offer was as close as possible to that on Wales Rally GB. Indeed, the legendary Hafren Sweet Lamb special stage would have been visible from the test stretch if a small hill had not been in the way.
Welcome to On Board. Here is Henry and Marko. Enjoy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 aja. Pikkunyppy 2 oikee eri 100. Liukas jarru, vasen nopea, pitkä. 120. Vasen helppo pitkä, liukas 4. Vasen K, pitkä, liukas 5.
The weather too was on its best behaviour and soaked the road at regular intervals, producing just the right kind of slippery conditions. Henry and Marko were now clearly more relaxed and immediately recorded some fast, consistent times. The days were long and almost 300 kilometres were covered in the DS3, almost half the number of kilometres driven on special stages in the entire Finnish Championship Series. Since on the Sunday before the event they get to drive the tests for P3 drivers, Haapamäki Salminen are ready to fight for the win. And precisely with that idea in mind, of course, they are headed for Wales Rally GB, since as far as the weather and one's pocket is concerned, there are better tourist destinations elsewhere. Team boss Hannu on the prospect of victory. In order to win, we simply need to be better than the rest, but in order for the others to win, they have to beat us.